Let's talk more about how the trade war is impacting the markets and so much more. Our next guest oversees $13 billion in assets, including in the Ariel Fund, which he started more than 30 years ago. Joining us right now is John Rogers, Ariel Investments Chairman, Co-CEO and Chief Investment Officer. Good morning to you. Do you think it's baked into the cake? Does the market believes that something is going to get solved next month?
I think you're right. I think people realize it's time to get this China trade war settled.
But when you hear those comments that we just ran from the president, does it make you think that actually maybe we're not going to get there?
Well, you know, it might get delayed. We always know these things don't always happen as expected, but eventually this will solve itself. And we'll be back on good shape, and we'll be talking about completely different issues.
But you don't think if we're in the middle of December and it looks like this is going south, that you're going to see the markets go south as well?
Could be temporary. We've had these ups and downs. But as you know, we're long-term investors, and this will pass too, and we'll be back to normal ground again within the next year.
Mohamed, you agree with that, Mohamed?
So I agree from the short term that we're up and down around a baseline that says truce, not resolution, truce.
Right.
Longer term, I think that we are somewhere between a pause button on globalization and a reverse button on globalization. And let me tell you why. It's not just about economics. It's about economics, it's about national security, and it's now about human rights. What Congress did yesterday is another genie out of the bottle. Right. So over the longer term, I think there's a genuine question about are markets wired for deglobalization?
Right.
Over the shorter term, I completely agree. We're going to have ups and downs, and we're going to have a truce that doesn't address any of the fundamental issues. And that's really important. But we're going to have a truce.
Go ahead.
I think the other thing we need to be working on is thinking about what does it mean we have a President Pence, and how will he handle that? We've been doing a lot of research on that. And if you think that over the next 6 months or so, we could have that kind of a leader.
Okay, wow. You just went there. Let's go there.
Right.
No. So when you sit around doing the math, you just said you've been looking at what happens in a President Pence world. That presumes that the president is impeached under your...
No, well, he's going to be impeached, people think.
Yeah.
That's 80% unpredicted. Yeah. But conviction by the Senate is at 15 cents.
I understand. You know, we're contrarian investors. We always think about things from a different perspective, try to think independently and not follow the crowd. And I think as more and more information comes out, there's a better than even chance that the president will be removed and we'll have a
better than even
Pence.
Chance?
Yeah, that's our perspective.
Okay. And tell us how you get there.
Well, I think you get there, but not only on what's happening with the Ukraine issue, but I also think you get there as you start to find the courts, not siding with President Trump. And when we get all of his financial records out and you get more and more data out, I believe there's a smoking gun there somewhere.
Wow. And then
you just believe that, or you have, that's just an opinion? I mean,
well, everybody's got an opinion.
Right. So you believe there's just, but this is without any...
I don't have any inside information, but I do think that as you find that someone's working so hard to hide information, there's got to be something there when it's finally exposed.
But I hear it more than an opinion. I hear it as a projection, and you're looking at what the market implications are.
Are you putting money to work on that right now?
Yeah, so what are the market implications?
I think it'll be positive for the markets. I think once we get into a more settled kind of leadership without all the drama that goes up and down every day and all the tweets that are so challenging to our economy, I think it'll be much more kind of a Zen world as we move.
Where are you seeing the effects of the tweets challenging the economy, in the unemployment rate, in the new highs in the stock market, in the rising wages, in the lowest minority unemployment in history? Where are you seeing the tweets have an adverse effect on the economy that you're talking about?
I think the way that it's sort of destabilizing.
As reflected by what? As reflected by what?
I think you're seeing that the market volatility, as you know, as he challenges the
market
Fed,
volatility going up?
But we've had major ups and downs, as you know, over this last year.
We've had 12 new highs in the Dow. It's the best year in about 20. We're up, I think, 24% on the averages.
Oh,
yeah, but that's an unfair look.
It's been one of the best.
Well,
okay, we're hitting
December to December.
All right, John manages $13 billion. He can speak for himself,
okay,
Andrew.
I'll let John.
How much do you manage?
Right.
All right.
Let me ask you though about, to the extent you're looking at what a world looks like under President Pence, what does it look like?
I think he will be very constructive when it comes to the work with China. And I also think that he'll, with the Fed and all of the major regulatory bodies,
so you think
he'll get back to more of normality?
So the volatility that you're arguing that the president is inflicting on the markets is a function of the way he's approaching the trade war with China, as a function of the way he's approaching? I could argue that the way that the tweeting and all of that creates volatility. I won't dispute that. The question is what kind of genuine impact it's had on the marketplace.
I think eventually we always believe that leadership matters and governance matters. When you see the kind of revolving door of leaders within the White House, leaders within the various cabinet, all the various cabinet secretaries, the leadership in various aspects of our, Washington ecosystem.
Right.
All that change can't be good. You need to have some kind of continuity in management. That's what we look for in the kind of companies we invest in.
Okay.
You want stable leadership.
Let me ask you a very quick question. Since you're having to actually map out the what happens to the market in a Pence world, if Pence somehow is in this new role as our president, what happens in the election? Because you probably have to map that out too.
Well, it'll be a more even playing field. I think it'll be a much closer race with Pence versus one of the Democratic nominees. As all of you know, I'm a Democrat and support the Democratic leadership.
What?
But no surprise, Joe.
Just hang tight here for a second.
Yeah.
So you think it'll be a tighter race if Trump is still in that role? Who wins? Just so I understand which side of it you think is tighter or not.
No, I think the Democrats will win in a landslide if Trump's the nominee.
You do?
Oh, for sure. Because it just is the drama that's happened. The positions are so hard, and you all see all the poll results that we all read and see. I feel very confident about that.